let's talk about the 2025 UNA convention. So every time I have the opportunity to go, I always go to the UNA convention. But before we get any further, what is UNA? So UNA is the Uganda North America Association. It's the organization that kind of overlooks all the Ugandans living in North America. Okay, so that is the organization, and every year UNA hosts what's called the UNA convention, and it's not in one primary city. It does go around. So it's been to San Francisco, it's been to Boston, it's been to Atlanta, it's been to Miami. So it just keeps going around. So this year, UNA convention was hosted in New Orleans, which is in the state of Louisiana. I had the opportunity to go. I'm going to tell you the good, the bad, and talk about the areas that I think that the UNA leadership team needs to improve. So let's first talk about the purpose of the convention. From what I heard, speaking to past leaders and the current president, Lambert, UNA is really supposed to bring Ugandans together. I feel like that was the original primary goal. And if that is the benchmark for success, UNA has been successful because UNA has brought so many Ugandans together. But beyond that, UNA does a lot of things, like bringing some services that typically Ugandans may not be able to access in their local towns or cities, like the NERA services. So if you want to get your national ID renewed, if you have something, has anything that has to do with the passports, the passport office is also at the UNA convention. If you have some banks in Uganda, some banks do come over to the convention, and you can do, kind of talk to your bank and sort those things out. And there's a bunch of vendors that come from all over the place. So as far as what UNA is supposed to do, I feel like UNA is doing it. And let's talk about some of the good things about this particular convention. What I really enjoyed is the city of New Orleans. New Orleans is such a strategic place because of its cost. New Orleans is not very expensive. So having over, I think the UNA website said it was about 1,800 people. I would estimate it was more, but let's say having 1,800 people in a city, cost is definitely an important factor to consider. So with that, New Orleans was really a good choice because people were able to have fun. So number one, the good is the choice was right as far as the city. And secondly, the hotel, the Hyatt Regency, was also a good choice of a place because it was a large hotel and it had all the amenities that a standard really good hotel needs to have. So that was really good. And the food, the choice of food, first for the city of New Orleans, there was a good choice of food that is very in line with what Ugandans typically like. So one of the common dishes in Louisiana is called gumbo. So it's kind of like beans and beef and rice, which a lot of people enjoyed that. But also the food that was served at UNA was also really delicious. So good job on the food options. And I also want to say the organization overall this time around was really good. And I found that people kind of I don't know what UNA did. I don't even know if this has anything to do with UNA, but just people kept, good manners and were in order, and it wasn't like some of the previous UNAs. So, that was good. And also the other thing is the local entertainment. In the past, lots of people have complained that UNA spends so much money to bring artists from Uganda, but they ignore the talent that we have here. And this time, UNA was able to actually address that with bringing a local band, Hills and Vines, from Boston, and other artists like GNL, Caritas Cario, and all that. And they were able to perform at the UNA convention. So we were happy to see our own people, local people performing. So that was good on UNA's leadership. The things that I think UNA really needs to work on is the vendor positioning this time. And being that I was recording a lot of videos, I spoke to a lot of vendors, and the positioning was not prioritized. Let me say that. Um, this time around, vendors were put in a separate room, which doesn't really work in their interest because typically vendors need to be positioned in a space where kind of everybody walks through, like a hallway. That way, their products are more exposed. Putting them in a separate room doesn't really do them well because people can easily avoid getting to them, and which vendor says some people just really never got to them at all. So that's something that UNA should think about. But I think that also has to do with limitations of the hotel and the way that the hotel was set up. The other thing is the communication of events. I said earlier that UNA was very organized, but I did see a little bit of confusion. In fact, one lady came up to me. She wanted to know where one of the forums was, and she did not know, and she did not know who to reach out to or how to find out. I did give her the directions to the website, and she was able to find where she needed to go. But I feel like somehow UNA should make that a little bit more clear, as in what is happening at what time, so that people are not confused in that regard. The other thing that I think UNA should really have communicated more clearly is what is happening with elections, because we know that typically this would be an election year, but I don't feel like that was communicated as to why it was not an election year. But that's you on the in the UNA leadership to kind of communicate that. But those are the things that I think needs improvement. While I finish this video, I just want to appeal to the overall Ugandan community. Listen, UNA has had its challenges over the years, and we all know that with the changing of leadership, their relationship with the Ugandan government. So there's a little bit of politics there as well. But this is where we are today. As the Ugandans, wherever you are, in whatever organization that you want to be a part of, whatever you want to subscribe to, whatever political party, if you live in the diaspora, our challenges are very unique. As I discussed on my YouTube channel and our social media accounts, we have unique challenges. And with unique challenges, we need unique solutions. So we have to come together and have these conversations. Sometimes just coming together as one and speaking about things, that is how we're going to be able to generate solutions. I would like to ask everybody that's watching this video, if you haven't already, consider looking at UNA and consider asking yourself, is there something of value that I can bring to UNA, okay, so that my contribution can be of value to the Ugandans living in North America. One thing that I particularly like about going to UNA above everything else is the networking opportunity, because I meet so many people at UNA, and there's been so many opportunities for me come out of UNA that I don't want to miss another UNA convention simply because of that. And while you might not really be interested, but we live in a country where sometimes as African immigrants, we're playing at a disadvantage. While we have opportunities for mentorship programs, we have opportunities for scholarships. If you live in a small rural town and you don't know about these resources, come to the UNA convention. You might meet someone that can point you to those scholarships, maybe for your child. You might actually meet someone that could be a mentor to your child, someone that understands the struggles of growing up in this country and becoming successful. There's so much that UNA is offering, but there's also so much potential. While I finish, I want to say this: congratulations and kudos to the UNA leadership, because New Orleans was turning over page in the attitudes of how people look at UNA. And while the challenges are there, we're not going to disregard the challenges. I really think the UNA leadership has stepped up, and I feel like they are doing so much more than what we've seen in the past. So, congratulations to the UNA leadership. Thank you so much for your work. And as soon as UNA announces the 2026 UNA convention location, I'll be communicating it here as well. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Paradise. I'm a filmmaker, content creator based here in Boston, Massachusetts. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. If you're watching me on TikTok, also be sure to follow. Share this video, download it, do everything you need to do. I'll see you in the next video.